Harvesting millions of tons of mink fur and civet coffee each year involves a complex and technologically advanced process designed to maximize efficiency, quality, and sustainability. Mink fur, renowned for its luxurious texture and durability, and civet coffee, famous for its unique flavor derived from the digestive process of civet cats, represent two distinct industries that combine traditional practices with modern innovations. The production of mink fur in factories involves a meticulous and multi-step process that has evolved over decades to cater to the luxury fashion market. The process is both resource-intensive and controversial due to ethical concerns, yet it remains a significant part of the global fur industry. Below is a comprehensive explanation of how mink fur is made, from breeding the animals to creating the finished product used in garments. 1. Breeding and raising mink. The production of mink fur begins with the breeding and raising of minks, which are small, semi-aquatic mammals valued for their soft and dense pelts. Mink farms are typically located in regions with cooler climates, as this helps the animals naturally grow thicker fur. A. Selection of breeding stock. Breeding is a critical aspect of mink farming. Farmers carefully select minks with desirable traits, such as high-quality fur, color, and size, to serve as breeding stock. These animals are often kept in specialized breeding facilities with controlled environments to ensure optimal health and fur quality. B. Living conditions. Minks are housed in rows of wire mesh cages within large sheds. These cages are designed to minimize contact between animals and maintain cleanliness. While critics argue that these conditions are unnatural, proponents claim they allow for better control over the animal's diet and health. C. Diet and care. Minks are fed a high-protein diet consisting of fish byproducts, poultry, and grains. This specialized diet is designed to promote healthy fur growth. Farmers also monitor the animal's health closely, as stress or illness can negatively impact fur quality. Veterinary care is provided to maintain the animal's well-being. 2. The breeding season and fur growth. The breeding season for minks typically occurs in early spring, around March. After mating, the gestation period lasts about 40 to 75 days, depending on the species. Female minks give birth to litters of 4 to 6 kits on average. A. Fur growth cycle. Minks naturally grow their winter coats during the colder months, as the fur thickens and becomes more lustrous to protect them from the cold. This period is when the fur reaches its peak quality. Farmers time the harvesting process to coincide with this natural cycle. 3. Harvesting the mink fur. The harvesting of mink fur is one of the most controversial steps in the process. It involves the humane euthanization of the animals, followed by the removal of the pelts. A. Euthanization. Once the mink's fur has reached full quality, typically in late fall or early winter, the animals are euthanized. This is done using methods approved by veterinary and agricultural organizations, such as carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide gas chambers. These methods are designed to minimize stress and pain for the animals. B. Skinning. After euthanization, the minks are taken to a processing area where their pelts are removed. This process is performed by skilled workers who ensure that the fur remains intact and undamaged. The skinning process includes slitting the pelt. A precise incision is made along the animal's abdomen. Peeling off the fur. The pelt is carefully peeled off the body, leaving the underlying carcass intact. The carcass is then discarded or used for other purposes, such as producing animal feed or fertilizers. 4. Cleaning and preserving the pelts. Once the pelts are removed, they must be cleaned and preserved to prevent degradation. This step is crucial in maintaining the fur's softness, color, and durability. A. Cleaning. The pelts are first cleaned to remove any blood, dirt, or debris. This is done using specialized cleaning agents that are gentle on the fur while effectively removing contaminants. B. Stretching and drying. The clean pelts are stretched onto wooden or plastic frames to ensure they maintain their shape during the drying process. Stretching also helps in evaluating the size and quality of each pelt. The pelts are then air-dried or placed in drying chambers with controlled temperatures and humidity. C. Tanning. Tanning is the process of treating the pelts with chemicals to preserve them and make them more durable. During tanning, The skins are soaked in a mixture of chemicals, such as alum and chromium salts. This process prevents the pelts from decaying and enhances their flexibility, ensuring they can be used in garment production. 5. Sorting and grading the fur. Once the pelts are cleaned, dried, and tanned, they are sorted and graded based on their quality. This step ensures that only the finest furs are used for high-end products. 8. Grading criteria. Pelts are graded based on several factors, including color, uniformity and richness of the natural color, texture, softness and density of the fur, size. Larger pelts are often more desirable and fetch higher prices. Flaws. Any visible imperfections, such as tears or bald spots. B. Sorting by color. Mink fur comes in a variety of natural colors, ranging from white and brown to black and even silvery gray. Pelts are sorted into groups of similar colors to ensure consistency in the final product. 6. Auctioning the pelts. After grading and sorting, the pelts are often sent to international fur auctions, where manufacturers and designers purchase them for use in garments. Major fur auctions are held in countries like Denmark, Canada, and the United States. 7. Manufacturing fur garments. Once the pelts are purchased, they are sent to factories where they are transformed into luxurious garments such as coats, jackets, hats, and gloves. A. Pattern designing. Designers create patterns for the garments, ensuring that the pieces of fur will fit together seamlessly. This step requires precise planning to minimize waste and highlight the natural beauty of the fur. B. Cutting the pelts. The pelts are cut into pieces according to the pattern. Workers use sharp knives or laser cutting tools to ensure accuracy. This step is particularly delicate, as any mistake can ruin the fur. C. Sewing. The cut pieces are sewn together using specialized sewing machines designed for working with fur. Skilled artisans stitch the fur pieces to create a cohesive garment. The seams are made as discreet as possible to maintain the garment's aesthetic appeal. D. Lining and finishing. After sewing the fur, the garment is lined with fabric for added comfort and durability. The final touches include trimming excess fur to create a uniform appearance, adding buttons, zippers, or other accessories, inspecting the garment for quality assurance. 8. Ethical and environmental considerations. The mink fur industry has faced significant criticism from animal rights organizations and environmental advocates. Critics argue that farming practices can be cruel and environmentally harmful, while proponents emphasize the economic benefits and cultural traditions associated with fur production. A. Animal welfare. Efforts have been made to improve animal welfare in mink farming, with many countries implementing strict regulations on housing, feeding, and euthanization methods. B. Environmental impact. The industry has been scrutinized for its carbon footprint, waste generation, and use of chemicals in tanning. Sustainable practices, such as recycling animal byproducts and using eco-friendly tanning methods, are being adopted by some farms and manufacturers. C. Alternatives to mink fur. In response to ethical concerns, the fashion industry is increasingly exploring alternatives, such as synthetic fur and plant-based materials, to replicate the look and feel of real mink fur. The process of making mink fur in factories is a complex and highly specialized operation involving breeding, harvesting, processing, and manufacturing. While the final product is celebrated for its luxury and elegance, the ethical and environmental controversies surrounding the industry cannot be ignored. As the demand for fur continues to evolve, so too will the practices and technologies used in its production. Civet coffee, also known as Kopi Luwak, is one of the most unique and expensive types of coffee in the world. Its distinct flavor profile and exclusive production process have made it a sought-after delicacy among coffee connoisseurs. However, the production of civet coffee is as fascinating as it is controversial. Here's a detailed explanation of how this unique coffee is produced. What is civet coffee? Civet coffee is made from coffee beans that have been eaten, digested, and excreted by civets, small nocturnal mammals native to tropical regions of Asia and Africa. The process of passing through the civet's digestive system is said to alter the chemical composition of the beans, resulting in a smoother and less acidic flavor when brewed. The process of civet coffee production. Selecting the coffee cherries. Civets are selective eaters. They naturally seek out the ripest and sweetest coffee cherries, which ensures that only the highest quality beans are used in the process. The civet's natural instincts act as a sort of quality control, as they consume cherries from a variety of coffee plants, often preferring Arabica over Robusta varieties. Fermentation in the digestive system. Once the civet consumes the cherries, the beans pass through its digestive system. During this process, the fruit surrounding the beans is broken down, but the beans themselves remain intact. Enzymes in the civet's stomach interact with the beans, breaking down proteins and reducing bitterness. This enzymatic fermentation is the key step that gives civet coffee its unique flavor profile. Excretion and collection. After digestion, the beans are excreted by the civet in clusters, still covered in a thin layer of mucilage. Farmers then collect the droppings from the forest floor, or in some cases, from enclosures where captive civets are kept. Cleaning the beans. The collected beans undergo an extensive cleaning process to ensure they are safe for consumption. This typically involves washing the beans multiple times with water to remove any impurities. The mucilage and remaining pulp are carefully scrubbed off, leaving behind the raw coffee beans. Drying the beans. After cleaning, the beans are spread out to dry in the sun. This step reduces the moisture content of the beans and prepares them for hulling. Sun drying is a traditional method that helps preserve the beans' flavor. Hulling and roasting. Once the beans are dried, they are hulled to remove the parchment layer. The green coffee beans are then ready for roasting. Roasting brings out the unique flavors of civet coffee, which are described as earthy, smooth, and with hints of chocolate and caramel. Packaging and distribution. The roasted beans are then packaged and distributed to specialty coffee shops and retailers around the world. Due to the labor-intensive and unique production process, civet coffee is sold at premium prices, often reaching hundreds of dollars per pound. Ethical concerns. The production of civet coffee has sparked significant ethical debates. While wild civet coffee is considered more humane, much of the market involves captive civets kept in poor conditions. These animals are often confined to small cages and fed an unnatural diet of coffee cherries, raising concerns about animal welfare. Consumers are encouraged to seek out ethically sourced civet coffee labeled as wild to support sustainable and humane practices. The production of civet coffee is a unique process that combines nature's instincts with human craftsmanship. From the civet's selective feeding to the careful cleaning and roasting of the beans, every step contributes to its distinct flavor. However, ensuring ethical practices in production is vital to preserving both the quality of the coffee and the welfare of the animals involved.